How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I got a towel.
I see. It's a nice
I ran to my
towel.
I ran to my cabin outside and we have towels. So I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna wear this."
Nice.
It's the only thing I have, so I thought it was kind of necessary.
I have several. I have several. Wearing wearing one now.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. So I thought we can start off because I have some friends also who are here watching. We can just start off and you can just give us a basic idea of what it is that like your project that you do, and then we can start discussing more, right?
Sure.
So yeah.
So I am the creator, I guess, of a project that I started just under a year ago, September 15th. It'll be a year, and it's called Pocket Ladybugs, and it's a project that's very dear to me. And yeah, that's the basic. It's just they're it's a way for me to give back, and it's a way for people to feel good and for me to feel good, and the end result is that everybody smiles.
And that's a good thing
Yes.
for sure, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's really good. So I wanted to ask like how did this like start? Like where how did it come to be? How why ladybugs? Where was that inspiration from? How you know?
I guess, well, it all started 19 years ago, actually, when my daughter was born. And she was born on the 17th of October. And on the morning of the 18th, in her hospital room, on her bassinet, the windows and the walls, there were several ladybugs that just appeared live inside, and there was no reason for it. There was no explanation for it. It was just like
Hmm.
a really bizarre yet beautiful thing.
Hmm.
And they were nowhere else in this room, just around her.
Huh.
And a nurse had come in and commented and said, "Wow, that means good things are coming, good things to come."
Hmm.
And so from that day, I started to collect ladybugs,
All
and
forms.
all different forms, from jewelry to bedding to clocks, stickers, anything ladybug related. I collected and received many, many gifts over the years that were ladybug related. And few years ago, I had so many ladybugs and I was kind of losing space for some of these ladybugs. And I started to re-gift them in a sense. And I would get a ladybug, and my rule was within 3 days, I needed to re-gift or rehome another ladybug in order to keep that cycle of happiness going. And so I would take little ladybugs that I had, whether it was a book or even stickers or just little trinkets, and I would re-gift them to somebody who I felt needed it, whether it was for um, good luck, or to let them know that, I understand they're going through a hard time, or
Hmm.
thank you, or congratulations. It was always meant in a positive
In a
way.
positive way.
So I had been doing that for a really long time, and then last summer, I get emotional.
So do I. I
So,
get it.
sorry. Big sap. So a year ago, last summer, I was in a position where financially things were very difficult. I am a single mother of two incredibly huge.
I know one of them, and I can say she's a wonderful daughter to you, so I know her. Yeah.
Um, I'm very blessed to
Yeah.
have these incredible humans in my life.
Yeah.
Um, and I was really struggling financially, and was trying to figure out a way to supplement the income that I already had, and I was just at a loss. 3 days later, while I was trying to come up with this miraculous idea of what I was going to do to make money, I got a call that a friend had passed. And sorry, I can't talk about this without crying. um, when she passed, I wanted to be able to give her son a ladybug that was worthy of everything that she was. Her son happens to share the same birthday as my daughter.
No.
So
Okay. So that's
I
also
really,
already really touching because of the ladybugs that were there when your daughter was born.
that's right.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a ladybug worthy to pass on. I have hundreds, possibly thousands of ladybugs lying around my house, but I didn't have one that I felt worthy to honor what this woman meant. She was such an incredible human being. She was so selfless. She was a pillar of the community, and I had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend had suggested that I make my own. Um, so I had no money. I literally had $5 to my name that day. And I went and I bought some clay, and I had to paint at home. And I started to just roll these little, yeah. I started to roll those out of clay, and I painted,
So
and I
you make them
had,
from scratch, you roll them, you do everything.
I do everything from scratch, yeah.
Guys, check
And
it out. Handmade.
and there were a lot of mistakes along the way. I had, ladybug blobs. I had, big messes, but I kept going at it and at it because I was determined
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that I was going to have a ladybug worthy of this woman. And I had set out to just make a ladybug. A few hours later, a couple days later, I had rolled 150 of these little clay ladybugs. And I didn't know what I was going to do with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There were now so many of them.
Did they always happen to be this small, or were they bigger before and became
No,
smaller?
they've always been this small because they're called pocket ladybugs for a reason. Um, they are intended to keep one with you. Um, as you can see, they do come in a set. They always come with two.
Here, I'm just gonna
And
show
then,
so whoever's there can see. They come in a little pouch like this
yeah,
with it's gonna be written backwards, but with a little card. So it's really cute the way they come.
thank you. So I had all these little clay ladybugs rolled, and I was like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? And literally, as silly as it sounds, the poem that is attached to the ladybugs came to me in a dream. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I literally wrote this down. And I wrote the poem down, and the poem completely embodies the love of ladybugs and the purpose of making people happy.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll attach the poem once this is posted, so everyone can see it.
So I now had a ladybug that was worthy of this woman's legacy. But I still didn't think that it was enough. And I had decided at that point that if I could sell these for a small fee,
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't take all of that. I would have to give back to the community.
Yeah.
That's what this woman did. This woman constantly gave back to the community. She was selfless, absolutely selfless. So I decided to choose an organization that was dear to me and is still dear to me, called SingleMOMtreal. And that is an
Can you talk
organization.
about? I've never actually heard of it until you told me about it. So do you want to just explain what it is?
Sure. So SingleMOMtreal is an online platform, mainly an online platform, support, resources, exchanges of advice, clothing, appliances, anything. And it's run by single mothers for single mothers. And it's such a great community because you can just reach out and say, listen, I don't have food.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow food will show up at your door.
Yeah.
Or or there's been, Christmas, they make sure that everybody is got something for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been great for advice. You know, if you need legal advice or if you need financial advice, or just support. You're having a really crappy day. This is a safe.
I think I lost you.
So I chose at that time to give 25% of the sales that I make back into SingleMOMtreal so that they can continue to help other single mothers along the way. So it's a great organization. I love it. They're such strong women who want nothing more than the best for their children. And what little bit I can give them, I do, and it makes me feel good knowing that I'm giving back, because I may end up having to receive that again in time in another form. And I'm very proud of this organization that I'm a part of. So that's where some of the money goes to, and the rest is, you know, goes to help us, help myself and my kids.
Wow.
So that's yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I really like that question.
Sorry?
I said it's really touching and interesting.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that's the short of it, really. So I started word of mouth. People were, you know, I was kind of really shy because I'm not one to really throw myself out there. Some people beg to differ, but I'm actually quite shy. I'm not. I don't always have a lot of confidence in myself, so I held back a lot. I was very quiet about what I was doing. So I would quietly show people, you know, the little sachets that you received, and I say, oh, you know, I'm doing this, and you know, they're $5 and things like that. And so slowly people were buying them, and then I slowly started to sell them through my Facebook and my Instagram, which I'm really proud of, the Facebook and the Instagram, how much it's grown in such a short period of time. And yeah, that's kind of where I am right now.
That's interesting. Inspirational.
Look, you know what? There are tough days. There are some really, really tough days. And these ladybugs get me through a lot of those tough days. And knowing that I can make somebody else's day better, even if I'm having a crappy day. If I can make somebody else's day better, I will.
That makes you feel better already.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing that I've put a smile on somebody's face, or knowing that, you know, somebody felt good because of something so small.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you can like understand what I'm saying. Nice mug. Yeah, I guess you can understand what I'm saying, because as you know, I'm in the field of like helping, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
just walking away from the day of work, even if it's a hard day, it comes back to you feel so good that you were there for them, you know?
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, like you said, I am in the field of helping. I work
Yeah,
within the special needs. We're in the special needs community. We're in there, right in there, both feet, both hands.
Can't wait to start working.
Yeah, mind, body, and soul. Can't wait to see those kids. And so yeah,
I get nowadays, so I was working with special needs in the past too. And even on hard days, like home, and, you know, I'm just like, I was there for them when they needed someone, and you know, it made them put a smile on their face. I had a smile on my face. So,
yeah, it makes a huge difference. You know, I firmly believe that kindness goes a long way, and that kindness doesn't have to have a dollar amount to it, and that kindness is something as simple as just smiling at somebody and just letting them know that you saw them, and giving them that smile, and they will smile back. you know. They may think I'm a little crazy sometimes because I'm smiling at everybody. I'm smiling
Crazy,
at strangers.
it's in a good way. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's very powerful. And, you know, every day, as you know, on my Instagram and my Facebook, I post.
And I wake up to this every morning. I love it.
I've had a lot of people tell me that that's the first thing that they look forward to in the morning, which makes me feel so good. And so I make a point of, I get up very early.
Yeah, I can
morning.
tell.
Yes. I usually prepare everything the night before so that when I do get up at 4 to make sure that it's there at 4 o'clock. I prepare everything the night before. I choose the pictures. I choose the quotes. And the quotes are usually a reflection of how my day went. And I try and I have a bank of quotes. Like, I've got well over a thousand quotes. And I have people who send me quotes. You know, they're like, hey, I really like this quote. And I will eventually post that quote with a picture of a ladybug that I have taken somewhere in the city, primarily NDG right now.
Do you want to talk about pictures? Like what you do?
So, prior to COVID, I think I was trying to go big, and I was reaching so far to get my message across, that message of kindness and that message of respect and inclusion and diversity is okay. I was just trying so hard to reach the masses. Then COVID happened, and I couldn't reach the masses at that point because couldn't go anywhere. And when everything was locked down and those first couple of weeks were really scary. And they were scary for everybody. I knew that if I was feeling scared, that there were so many other people that were feeling scared.
I understand. I was
Yeah. So that second week of lockdown in March, I decided that I was going to still continue to put a smile on people's faces, and I was still going to continue to try my best to make the world a better place.
Not a quitter.
No.
No.
Good Lord, no, I'm not.
Good for you.
So I had decided at that time I was going to take 100 Ladybug sets and walk the streets of NDG and just randomly put them in mailboxes. I left them on porches. I left them in community book boxes. I left them in businesses that were open just to say thank you. I know this is hard, and, you know, I appreciate what you're doing. And I just wanted to, you know, spread that happiness. I exceeded that 100 and upwards of 300 sets I delivered throughout the neighborhood of NDG. When I do my ladybugs, I take pictures every day of little individual ladybugs, sometimes a couple of ladybugs. My cat may join this right now. I'm going to try not to join. Yep.
Hello.
So what I do is I walk around the neighborhood and I take pictures in different locations of NDG, and then I post those pictures right now with the quotes that I've chosen. And NDG has been so supportive and so embracing of me and my project. I mean, I've lived in this neighborhood for over 25 plus years, and I've always been a part of my community, but this really brought something different to the community for me, and I think for them. And it's just, it's just nice knowing that those ladybugs that I leave lying around are then found. You know, I'm still leaving ladybugs lying around. I'm not delivering the sets like I was at the first time of COVID, but I still leave ladybugs lying around in the neighborhood, and in hopes that somebody will find them. And just, you know, and they know they're from me. I've now become known as the Ladybug Lady, or the Ladybug Mom of NDG, which I wear that badge quite proudly. It's a little embarrassing sometimes when I am recognized, though. I've had a few moments of being fanned in public, and it's sometimes it's a little bit much, but bringing it back to the community has built this even stronger, and has brought my mission that much further, or my goal that much further. More and more people are hearing what I have to say, and that's just, you know, be kind. Just be kind. That's all I'm asking from people is, you know, take a second, stop, and think about what it is you're going to say. Think about what it is you're going to do. Because if I'm already having a crappy day, somebody else is having a crappier day. And I don't want to contribute to that at all. And that's one of the things that I post every day. Someone is struggling with something bigger than you realize. Always. So no matter how bad my struggle is in the moment, somebody is potentially struggling that much more than you. And I want to help change that. And if a ladybug changes that, you know, I say one ladybug at a time. I'm trying to change the world.
And they're such beautiful creatures too.
They are.
And when I see one now, I'm going to think of you.
Hey?
When I see one outside, I'm going to think like a real one.
Yes, I often get messages from people saying, hey, thought of you. And that, you know what, that makes me feel really good, because it, you know, somebody thought of me, I've thought of them. It just brings everybody up. It lifts people. Just that 1 second of kindness can do so much to lift a person.
Another question I was wondering, I'm sure you make a ton of these, so you must have little helpers, right?
Yes, I know where you're going with this. So again, thanks to COVID, thanks to COVID, I decided to spread the word a little further with, I wanted to spread the word a little further and start bringing it to children. So I started workshops, and they're Ladybug Kindness Workshops, or Kindness Workshops, and I sit with a group of kids, just a few kids right now in my front yard. We have a big table, and we all socially distance, and we sit and we roll ladybugs. And while we're rolling the ladybugs, we're talking about how we can be kind to people, and how we have that power within us. No matter how old we are, no matter what we have, we can be a difference, and we can make a difference. So the conversations that I've had with these kids are extremely candid and so innocent and so incredibly beautiful. And, you know, their ideas of how they can be kind are just the purest, you know. They will tell you a smile, or, you know, sharing a lollipop, or, you know, they've got their own views of what kindness is, and it honestly is the most purest of ideas. And so through that, they roll some of the ladybugs, and I always come prepared, because the ladybugs don't dry fast enough. The clay doesn't dry fast enough for them to continue on. So each workshop steps are done. So one group will roll the ladybugs, and then the next group gets to paint them red. And those are drying, then they get to put their own spots and wings on the ladybugs. And each of them is putting a little bit of themselves into these ladybugs, a little bit of their own love and a little bit of their own character and a little bit of their own diversity. And we talk about how no two ladybugs are the same, just like no two people are the same. And yet, when you look at a ladybug, it's beautiful. Just the way I would hope that people would see each other, is that no matter what spots I'm wearing, no matter how big my wings are, or we're still beautiful. And the kids are really embracing that, and they're absolutely loving it, and they're walking away with this sense of power that they have, and that's what it is. And I tell them, this is a power that we all have, but we forget that we have, and that sometimes adults need to be reminded that they have this incredible power within them that could change the world. It really doesn't take that much. So the workshops are new. It's still in its infancy, but the response has been great. And the kids, even teenagers, I've had some teenagers as well, and they're really embracing this, and they're really enjoying it. And then at the end, they get to leave with a set of ladybugs that by that point has been touched by so many hands and filled with so much love from so many different backgrounds and lifestyles. And it just goes to show that we're really not that different.
Yeah.
At all. So the workshops are pretty cool. They're lots of fun.
That's going to continue?
I would like to see it continue. I'd like to see the workshops continue on a much bigger scale. Like, my dream would be to go into community centers, to go into schools and do these little workshops, and because it's so cathartic and it's so therapeutic, and busy hands create great conversations, because they forget that they're what they're talking about. They just go, because they're just so relaxed with the process. So it's relaxing and it's comforting to them, and they really enjoy themselves. I get a lot of positive feedback from the kids. Some kids have even asked to come back, which is great. And if it wasn't actually for some neighborhood kids, it was a couple of neighborhood kids who kept pushing. They were saying, Trish, can we make some ladybugs with you? Can we make some ladybugs with you? We want to see how this is. And that's how that started, was because there were some pretty insistent children in my neighborhood. So, thank you, kids. Yeah.
And where do you
so busy.
Where do you do the workshops?
Right now, I'm doing them in my front yard, given the restrictions. But I am open to doing them in other people's yards. I bring all my own stuff with me, as long as they've got water. That is the only thing I need. I am good to go. I've got all of the supplies, and I can do it in backyards. But yeah, my goal, or my dream for the workshops is to go into schools and do this on a much larger scale, to spread that word and to have that conversation with kids. I think that we do it a lot with kids. We talk a lot about kindness, and we talk a lot about that, but there's no beginning, middle, and end. And when they do this with the ladybugs, they get to participate in that beginning, that middle, and that end. And it's just nice. It's a nice complete package. So yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I guess if anyone has questions, you can see if anyone has questions.
Oh my gosh, have I been talking that long?
It's amazing.
That's amazing. Cool.
Give a couple of seconds.
Sure.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ladybug love. I don't know if I told you. I think I told you. I also started recently. I've created a new ladybug, so to speak. I actually don't have one handy. Thought I did. No. So I've started making individual ladybugs with a poem that is geared towards children. That was inspired not that long ago by a mom who wanted to do something special for her daughter's birthday. And so she trusted me to come up with this idea, and I've now created little individual ladybugs for children. And they're a little larger, so that because they are for children.
Yeah.
And those ladybugs are meant to sit on a shelf in a child's room or somewhere where a child can see it, kind of as a way to let them know that they're not alone and that they're being watched over, kind of like the way the ladybugs watched over my kid almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's lots going on with the ladybugs. Lots going on.
I like it. It's interesting. I learned so much today.
Yeah, it's very dear to me. Do I think I'm making a huge difference? Not yet. Am I making a difference?
Definitely.
I believe so. I do.
Yeah.
I tell people I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I think I actually throw my heart at people. And if anybody's willing to listen to me, I'm willing to talk, and I'm willing to share my struggles, and hopefully by hearing my struggles that somebody else's day won't seem quite as bad. And yeah, I just want the world to be a better place.
If there was no COVID right now, I'd hug you.
I miss hugging people terribly. This has been extremely painful for me. Not being able to hug people has been it's been it's physically painful not to be able to hug anybody. So first chance I get, there's a whole lot of people who know they've got to get the football gear on because I'm tackling them down. Yeah.
Right here, me too.
Yeah, it's been rough, but every day is a new day. Every day is a new beginning, and every day is a new day to put the past behind us. Yeah, and to spread love and to be kind. There's no excuse.
No.
There's literally no excuse to not be kind. I just, it infuriates me when somebody, chooses not to be kind, and I think that a lot of adults in the world need to be reminded of that in a way that, resonates, and if my ladybugs resonate, then I will keep spreading it.
Well, as I told you, so I'm around here too.
Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
That's my story.
That's my story.
Thank you. Thanks for wanting to know more too. Like, I think that as I've been doing this, people have been just coming in, at different chapters of the story, and I think that some of it got lost a little bit in the process, and you giving me this opportunity to really share as much as I was able to today has really kind of brought the whole story together. And I really hope that people hear this and they try and make a difference in somebody else's life. So, sorry.
Okay.
Weepy-eyed.
Okay, no, it's understandable. It's very understandable.
So yeah. Do you have any more questions?
I think we covered everything. Thank you so much.
I think so. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate this. It was really nice to see you, and I guess I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Going back to work soon.
Excited.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Anyways, thank you so much for this opportunity, Anita.
No problem. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too.
All right.
Take care.